Welcome to this session. My name is Alenka. I'm working at Voltron as open source apprentice, and I'm working on Apache Arrow specifically as a contributor. 1 year ago, I was searching for some interesting projects, something interesting to learn, and I bumped into Apache Arrow. I didn't know how to start. I was confused, what to do, how to build this library. And I had a friend that helped me start, and it was much easier. And at the end, it was a really nice, pleasant experience. I did some contributions, and that led me to a nice friendly working environment, a really healthy working environment at the Voltron Data, which I'm really happy about, and that's why I'm passionate about this kind of new contributors, new contributing to open source and just developing the community. So let me share my screen and start with the presentation so you have something to look at also. So I will talk, as I said, about the new contributors guide and the contributing to Python part of the library. Let's pause a second for just explaining what a contribution is. In my words, in my opinion, the contribution, it can be anything that adds value to the project. It could be a bug fix, it could be a documentation correction, an example of how the functions are used, and also as a bug report to help the maintainers see that something's not working as it should. So these are different kinds of contributions. If you're interested in this topic, please visit the talk by Nick Crane, my colleague. She will have interesting information about this specific subject. I will go further on to the new contributors guide. So what I want to add here is that making a contribution to an open source is a good way to learn new skills and also to collaborate with really talented and smart people. So the new contributors guide. Okay, so for whom did we add this to the documentation? For whom this resource is available for? It's specifically targeted or specifically interesting for first-time contributors. So if you're new to open source, this could be a good way to start to learn about a process of contributing in open source projects. And you can have experience in open source, but not in Apache Arrow. So that's a good resource for you also. What is the new contributors guide? It's a part of the official documentation that provides help, the necessary information when you want to do that first contribution. What exactly is the information needed? We'll go to that later, but now is just an overview. So you can also have experience, but you're not sure what are the exact steps that we take in Apache Arrow project. So this could be a good resource for you also. So why this new contributors guide is here, and also why do you want to contribute? Why is this interesting? So it's interesting because, as I said, the collaboration, the learning, and also this community is growing by this, contributions, by collaboration between us. And this new contributors guide is written so it's a little bit easier to start. If you have experience, it's much easier. If you don't have that much experience, you need some information. So we want to make it as easy as possible. And also, if you're an Arrow user and you haven't thought of adding contributions to the project, it's a really good thing to do. And overall, why would we want to support this? Because open source thrives when everybody's motivated, everybody contributes, everybody's happy. So we encourage everybody to get involved. The content. So we know what it is, for whom it is, this new contributors guide. So let me just present an overview, a general overview of the content. You have, as a landing page, you go directly to a checklist which tells you the steps which are normally necessary that you have to go through when you start and when you make a contribution. A checklist is a short, overview, and from this checklist you have links to the step-by-step part of the new contributors guide, which is a detailed description of these steps that are presented in the checklist. The third part, so these are the two main, and the third main part that I would add is also the tutorials. Important information here is that the Apache Arrow project connects a lot of different languages, and this new contributors guide is targeting for not targeting in general, but is including now a Python and R part of the library. The information, some information is general for every language, but specific information is specific per language. So this is now done for Python and R, but for other languages it still needs to be done, and we welcome any contributions in this part also. So the tutorial for Python and R are available, and these are just step-by-step parts of the same as before, but for a specific case. So we took an issue, we did the issue, but documented each step that we took. So we have a nice overview of that. Okay, so the content in general, what I want to show you also is the page of the new contributors guide. Let me find it. Here it is. So this is the documentation of Apache Arrow. The links will be available in the bottom of the video. So this is the landing page, the welcome, all the information that's interesting. So go have a read. And this is the quick reference that I was talking about, this checklist of the steps that you need to take when you want to contribute. So you have to install Git. I will go through them a little bit. You have to install Git so you can, because we have this Git workflow for contributing through GitHub. And you have to fork the repository from the GitHub. And then when you have this local part set up, you have to build the library locally also. It's not necessary for every contribution. For example, there's some documentation corrections that you don't need to build from source, but most of the time you need to. After you build, it's really good if you run the tests. So here, if you look at the PyArrow part for Python part, you run the PyTests on the whole PyArrow folder. So you see if something's off, it will be visible there. So these 3 steps are a part of this setup. And then you have to find an issue. So this can be interesting. You can have an issue you want to work on. That's perfect. That's great. You can create an issue. We use Jira for issue tracker. So, go ahead there, create an issue. If you have a bug report, create an issue. You have also the information here for that, for creating also the issues. But if you, for example, me, I didn't use Arrow and I wanted to contribute. So what to do? There are issues tagged for good first contributions. So you can find something there. You can, it's labeled as the first time contribution. It has a component for documentation if you're interested in that. So you can browse through Jira issues in this manner, and you have information here for that also. There's some words about the communication, how to connect with Arrow developers. Really good to read. So when you have an issue, this 5 and 6, step 5 and 6 are for what to do. So how to find the things, the correct files, how to go around the code base, some useful information. So again, run the tests, or information about how to build the documentation if you need to do that. And then when the changes are done, how to then put the changes into the master branch of Apache Arrow. That's by creating a pull request. So you have detailed instructions on that also. On the left side, here you can see that the steps are also detailedly explained. You can access them here. We added some additional information, so you can browse through, about documentation, how to add there. The tutorials are available here, so Python and R for now, and specific Jira issue, and then you can go through the steps for a specific case. So let me check if there's anything else I want to say about this. No, so this is all I want to say about the stop presenting, about the contributing, about the new contributors guide. Please, if you're interested, go check it out on the webpage, browse through the resources, ask questions if needed. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this talk, for being interested in contributing to Apache Arrow.